Okay, so we're going to do transformations of the secant graph on this one. So let's just remind ourselves, where are those asymptotes? Well, we had an asymptote over here at negative pi over 2 and positive pi over 2. And then our third one was at 3 pi over 2, right? So that's the important thing. And with cosecant, we had to scoop up, scoop down, and that's what made our full period graph. You don't really need this one over here, but we'll get to that. All right, now, keeping that in mind, when we do these transformations, what you're going to work on is the left vertical asymptote is going to be bx minus c equals negative pi over 2. Just like we did with tangent, we're taking everything connected to that x value and setting it equal to the asymptote. So the right vertical asymptote will be bx minus c equals positive pi over 2. Okay, so let's try it on this first question here. Notice, what is our a value? Well, our a value is 3, b is 1, c and d are both 0. Okay, that being said, what's going to change here? Now, keep in mind that a value and the d value will affect y. Okay, so a and d will affect the y value, and I'll show you that as we have one of those. Okay, so we do have one with a. So let's first do our asymptotes here. So notice everything with x, there's really no difference, right? It's just going to be our regular original asymptotes, negative pi over 2 and pi over 2, because there's a 1 for b and a 0 for c, so there's no change in those. So now on your graph, there's no y-axis, so you're going to have to build in a y-axis where you think it fits. Okay? And then in my asymptotes, I'm going to put my tick marks where I think it's appropriate. So I'm going to do pi over 2's. Okay. And label. So this is negative pi over 2, pi over 2, pi. This will be 3 pi over 2. Okay. Now I can do this. So my asymptotes are going to come here. They didn't move. They're going to look just like my original parent function. So what is changing is this a value. So what I'm going to do is take those y values and multiply them by a. If I had a d value, then I would add d, but in this case d is 0, so it doesn't matter. So what does that do? That just means instead of my graph being at 1, it's going to go up to 3 and do the scoop at 3. All right? So my scoop will be up here at 3, and it'll be down here at negative 3. So it's going to affect my range, not my domain, but my range. Okay, so let's see. What's happening with my range? Let's start there. Negative infinity to negative 3, bracket, jumps up to 3 to positive infinity. C says, where does the period begin and where does it end? So it's going to begin at negative pi over 2, and it's going to end at positive 3 pi over 2. D says, what's the period length? Okay, it's just 2 pi. E is the vertical asymptote, so E is equal to, let's do pi over 2 plus n, remember it's half the period, so n pi. F is the amplitude, remember it's the absolute value of A, so in this case it's just 3. Now we can do our domain, so it's all reals except where x is equal to pi over 2 plus n pi. Okay, remember these go hand in hand. Okay, let's try the next one. This one has an a value of 1/2, and b is 1, c is 0, but d is negative 1, isn't it? Okay, so that's going to affect our y values. Both of those are going to affect our y values. What's not changing is our asymptotes. Since b and c are non-consequential, they're not going to change anything. We're going to have the original asymptotes of our secant graph. So I'm going to go ahead and put these in. So this is going to be negative pi over 2, pi over 2, and then 3 pi over 2. So that's easy. Our asymptotes have not shifted. All right, now we worry about the scoops. Okay, my original scoop was at 1, right? But I multiply by that 1/2 and I get half. And then I take it down 1. I transition it down 1, so it's going to come down here. So it's going to be here, and then it's still going to scoop up. It's not reflected, it's still scooping up. So then my scoop on the bottom in the next section usually is at 1, but I'm multiplying by 1/2, and then I'm taking it down a unit, so it's going to come down here. By 1/2 will make it come closer to the x-axis, doesn't it? And then if we shift it down a unit, so what's that doing? That's really changing the gap between my scoops, isn't it? So let's talk range here. Our range goes from -infinity to, where is this? -3/2, so -1.5. And then it comes up to a -1/2 up to positive infinity. C is, where does it begin and end? Well, it begins at -pi/2. It ends at 3pi/2. My period is the distance between those two, which is 2 pi. My asymptotes, let's take your first positive asymptote, pi/2, plus n, half your period, which is just a pi. Amplitude then is 1/2. So my domain is all reals except where x is pi/2 plus n pi. Let's try the next one. Okay, look at this. A is -1, B is 2, C is pi, D is 0. Okay, so this time we do have something after this secant that we need to set equal to our asymptotes. So let's do a little thinking here. 2x minus pi equals -pi/2. All right, so let's do some solving. If I add the pi, it's 2pi/2. That's going to give me 2x equals what? Back to positive pi/2. I want to get rid of that 2, so I'm going to multiply by 1/2. And that's going to give me an asymptote of pi/4. Now let's do the right vertical asymptote. So 2x minus pi equals a positive pi/2. If I move that over, I'm going to add a pi, so it's plus 2 pi/2, which gives me 3 pi/2. If I multiply by 1/2 to both sides, I end up with what? 3 pi/4. Okay, so these are my new asymptotes. So let's think about this. I'm going to put my y-axis over here. All right, and if I go by pi/4, let's do pi/4, 2 pi/4, 3 pi/4, pi, right? And then that would be 5 pi/4. So these would be my asymptotes. Let's put those in. All right, so that takes care of the B changes and the C changes. A, however, is a -1. So that's going to be a reflection. My scoop that usually is right here is going to reflect over that x-axis and just going to be a down scoop first and then an up scoop second. That's what that reflection is going to do. All right, let's fill in our gaps. So our range really is the same as the parent function because we just flip-flopped them, right? Where does it begin and end? This one begins at pi/4 and it ends at 5 pi/4. Notice the difference between these two is 4 pi/4, which is a period of pi. If you're not sure, you could have done 2 pi over b, which is 2 pi/2, which would give you pi. All right, E is my asymptotes, so x equals pi/4 plus n times half a pi, half the period. So the period is half a pi. And then my amplitude is just 1 because the absolute value -1. So then we do this. Last thing is the all reals except where x is equal to pi/4 plus n pi/2s. Okay, let's try the back side. One more. Okay, this one's got a little more to it because of that pi/2 thing in there, right? So I'm going to use up my space well here. So let's think. A is -1, B is pi over 2, C is 0, D is 0. Okay, so I'm going to take that pi over 2, x, and set it equal to my left-hand asymptote. So to get rid of that, I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal. So it looks gross, but it's really going to come out nice and neat. Look, the pi's will cancel, and I'll end up with a -1. So my left vertical asymptote is just going to be -1. Then if I do the same thing to the positive side of things, it's just going to be a +1. Well, that makes it nice and neat, doesn't it? Okay, so if I do this, if I make this -1, this +1, 2, 3. Okay, so my distance between them is 2, right? So there's my asymptotes. Alrighty. And then notice that A is -1, so that means it's going to reflect it. So my up scoop's going to go down and my down scoop's going to go up. That's really all that changed in this scenario. So let's start with range. It's the original range. C is where does it start and where does it end? Well, this one starts at -1 and it ends at 3. So what's the distance here? Well, that means it's a distance of 4. So if I do 2 pi over b, which is pi over 2, if I keep change flip, look, I end up with 4, don't I? All right, asymptotes. Let's take 1 plus n times, what is half of this? 2. 1 plus 2n. Okay, it's a little weird. And then the amplitude, absolute value -1 is 1. Okay, so this is all reals except where x is equal to 1 plus 2n. Okay? Now it's time to practice. Let me know what questions you have.